have a guy come up from 140 pounds in such a short period of time. I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. If he'd have taken 3 or 4 years like Canelo did and built up his, not only his strength, but his bulk in the correct way, he would have had a better chance.
With the blockbuster showdown drawing near, predictions are pouring in from every corner of the boxing world. Esteemed trainer Abel Sanchez has now stepped in with his own bold take on the Canelo versus Crawford contest, offering a verdict that's stirred even more excitement among fight fans. As the buzz continues to grow, Sanchez's confidence has only intensified the hype surrounding this clash. He pointed out that leaping from 140 pounds to 168 in barely over a year, as Crawford has done, is a massive challenge. In his recent interview, Sanchez applauded both fighters for their skill and achievements, calling Crawford an exceptional talent still carving his legacy, while portraying Canelo as the more seasoned and powerful of the two. Having faced countless elite opponents without being seriously hurt, Sanchez warned that Canelo will not be an easy obstacle for Crawford to overcome.
Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why we have weight divisions. I think that Canelo has proven as he has risen in the weights, he's dealt with the best in his weight divisions that he's at now. He fought Bivol, and Bivol couldn't hurt him. He fought my guy, and my guy couldn't hurt him in 2 fights. The 3rd fight I wouldn't even count as a fight.
Breaking down his analysis, Sanchez noted that Crawford could give Canelo problems early on, using his quickness and ring movement to edge the opening rounds. But he cautioned, once that speed begins to fade, likely after the 3rd or 4th round, Canelo will take over. Drawing on past performances, Sanchez reminded fans that Canelo's rhythm often builds as the fight progresses, allowing him to deliver crushing shots once his timing locks in. If Crawford slows even slightly, Sanchez predicts Canelo will press forward with relentless power.
Tough fight at the first 3 or 4 rounds because of his speed, just like when we took Golovkin to fight Kell Brook. Kell Brook, being a welterweight, was a little faster, quicker at the beginning. But once Canelo assimilates the speed and assimilates the movement, and Crawford's going to be a lot slower because of the weight also. Once he does that, I think it'll be a sparring session for Canelo, as it is in most of his last 4 or 5 fights. After the 5th or 6th round, it seems like it's a sparring session. He's doing whatever he wants.
Sanchez also stressed the importance of fight night weight. Eagerly awaiting the official win on September 13th, he explained that extra pounds could hurt Crawford's mobility and punching sharpness, while an overly heavy Canelo could face similar drawbacks. In his view, weight management might be one of the decisive factors in shaping the fight's outcome.
Do you feel like people don't realise it with Crawford? Like when he's putting this weight on, this is almost weight that may not even be beneficial to him.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to benefit him. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he weighs fight night. If the reports that I've read, he's up at 180 pounds, 190 pounds. So if he drops down to 168, I think it'll be too much. I thought that maybe 160, 158 maybe was the best form. But if he's comes in at 168 or 170 pounds by fight night, 175, I think it'll be too much. I think it'll be slower. He's not going to punch any harder just because he got the weight.
Meanwhile, Amir Kanu has shared the ring with both men, offered his own balanced perspective. Calling both fighters top tier, Kano Khan praised Canelo's veteran poise and Crawford's aggressive pressure style. He acknowledged that either man could have his hand raised, but suggested Canelo's experience with naturally larger opponents might give him the upper hand when the bell rings.
It's a hard fight to call, honestly, because it just depends what type of fighters show up on the night. I fought both guys. When I fought them at the peak of their careers. The same Canelo gonna fight Crawford, is that gonna be the same Canelo I fought? And with Crawford, we know he turns it up anyway. I think that looking at both fighters, I think Canelo has had more harder fights, going up and down the weight divisions. I think he's been in more wars than Crawford. I think Crawford is the fresher fighter who's been in less wars, but had.
Khan went on to say that both fighters must maximize every second inside the ropes. In a bout of this magnitude, even the smallest lapse could be punished. He reminded fans that one clean shot could change everything, urging complete focus and composure from round 1 to the final bell. A single slip-up, Khan emphasized, could be the difference between victory and defeat.
100% right there, Sean, because you know what? It's all about timing this. And I think this is at the highest level where every inch is going to make a difference. You know what I mean? Every millisecond, you know what I mean, is going to make a massive difference, because if you fall short with a punch, you only get caught. If you put your defense down and probably just relax or turn off in that ring, you can get hurt.
Yeah.
And you can get that. It could just take that one punch that changes the whole fight around. I mean, we've seen fights where it's a close fight, you don't know who's winning the round, but then one big shot lands and you go, oh, you know what, he's won that round. Now, it just depends what Vegas is going to look for. What's Vegas looking for? And at the same time, as we all know that Turkey Sheikh doesn't want no runners. Turkey made it clear that I don't like the rabbits running around. You know what I mean? He likes the guys to stand there and fight. Now, does Crawford have that power to stand there and that weight to stand there with Canelo? Time will tell, bro. I mean, it is a hard fight for both fighters, because is Canelo fast enough with his feet to get to Crawford, or is he skillful enough to get to Crawford, or is Crawford strong enough to stay there in the pocket and fight Canelo? I mean, these are things that we're going to see, because it's been a very long time where we've not seen. Well, then again, I think.
Adding to the debate, former Canelo sparring partner Jack Catterall reflected on his time training alongside the Mexican superstar. While acknowledging Canelo's past punching power, Catterall suggested that it may not be quite the same today. He expressed confidence in Crawford's ability to neutralize Canelo's strengths, applying smart tactics to earn the win. Without hesitation, Catterall boldly predicted a Crawford victory.
So on Canelo, Crawford, obviously you've been in there, you've seen it firsthand with Canelo. Is he the one to get it done? Is he going to beat Crawford, or what?
You know what, I've been changing my mind, chopping and changing. Two tremendous fighters in their own right. I won't call it an upset, but I'm going for a Crawford victory.
Another voice in the mix. Brandon Adams, who sparred with Dimitri Bivol during his preparation for Canelo, believes this will be an uphill battle for Crawford. Adams argued that Canelo's sheer size is a serious hurdle for a fighter new to 168 pounds. To triumph, Crawford would need to deliver something extraordinary, relying on elite skill and a flawless strategy to offset the size and strength disadvantage.
As honest as I can be, this is going to be a huge mountain that Terence is going to have to move. Huge mountain. Reason why is because not only is Canelo the bigger man, he's a bigger man that's actually not bigger in height. No, he's just bigger just in width and depth. And that's what's going to be one of the, it's going to be something that works for Terence, but at the same time, it's going to work against Terence.
Adams also issued a word of caution to Crawford. Prepare for heavy artillery. He described Canelo's punches as explosive and warned that without the right strength and conditioning program, those blows could do serious damage. Adams encouraged Crawford to face the toughest possible scenarios in training camp so that he can absorb Canelo's best shots without crumbling when fight night arrives.
And it's going to be real tough because Canelo is naturally much bigger than he is, naturally been pushing more weight. Terence is strong and he's, got a wrestling background, but a guy punching with that kind of punching power, hitting at his arms with small gloves, because that's what Canelo's going to do most of. He's going to be hitting his shoulders, hitting his arms, and that's what Terence is going to have to train and prepare for. He's going to have to train and prepare for it, allowing his arms to get hit and get, build that conditioning up, and not allowing that to affect him.
British veteran John Ryder, who has personally gone toe-to-toe with Canelo, labeled Crawford a rare talent with the brain and skill set to outthink his rival. He admires fighters who pour everything into their craft and believes Crawford's mental toughness is a key asset. Still, Ryder voiced skepticism about whether Crawford can truly overcome the physical demands of facing a full-fledged super middleweight like Canelo. He concluded by saying the road to this matchup and the way Crawford adapts to the weight will be as telling as the fight itself.
Still developing and growing into that weight. You could have done with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there. But like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. I remember watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just, my ears pricked up and I took notice. And every time Terence Crawford boxed, I watched.